My name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today we're reading Saturnastra Chicot, Chapter 1, Questionable Origins, Part 1. No one can say for certain when or where Chicot was born. Even when questioned, Chicot said it was not important. As far as he was concerned, a person's parents and place of birth had nothing to do with a person's individual worth. He felt so strongly about this that he even refused to take up a surname. As far as his contemporaries were concerned, Chicot was just another one of the thousands of war orphans. Chicot first appeared in Zunfte 20 years ago. He stood out in the merchant town despite his diminutive size. He wore distinctive white robes with golden borders. At first people thought he was a mage's son. This was disproven when people saw him begging on numerous occasions. Even I offered him a couple of silver coins on a number of occasions. There was something pitiful about his fragile thin hand and his immaculate small pale feet. His friend looked so fragile, it seemed as if the lightest breeze would break him to pieces. Anyone who got a good look at him was compelled to offer him alms. I was 8 at the time when I first met him. My mother was the lady-in-waiting to a noble woman of the house of Unhai. This gave me the chance at a comfort and education unknown to most of my kind. From time to time, I would run errands for my mother. It was during one of such errands when I noticed the strange white shadow wandering the dingy market streets. Zunfte was unlike most towns. It was not run by a noble family or a warlord. In Zunfte, the guilds held most of the sway. The most powerful guild was the Blacksmith guild. They controlled the wealth of the town via the contract with Veragerung. It's running, right?
Yeah.
In order to keep the other guilds in line, it wasn't too uncommon for there to be the occasion of murders. It was during one of such incidents when I bumped into Chicot. He picked up the parcel I was carrying after dusting it off with the ends of his robes. I was naturally suspicious of this strange child. After walking a few paces away, I checked to see if I had all my wealth intact. Reassured that I had not been pickpocketed, I continued on my way. During his first weeks living there, Chicot always kept his face in shadows, never speaking a word to anyone. A few of the laundrymaids did attempt to establish some sort of conversation. However, they gave up on speaking with the boy due to his unresponsive nature. One day, I overheard the Lady Margaret gossiping with my mother and the other maids. "Did you see Master Alvis' new apprentice?" asked Elaine, the maidservant. "I was not aware that Alvis was taking any apprentices," commented Lady Margaret. "No, don't tell me. Let me guess," said my mother. "It is a strange street urchin, the one who wears those white wizard robes." How do you know, Madame Caroline?" Exclaimed Elaine. "Call it woman's intuition. There's something unnatural about that child, I tell you," said my mother. "Unnatural? Please do tell," insisted Lady Margaret. "He lives in the street, and yet his clothing and his person is always sparkling clean," explained my mother. Lady Margaret frowned and said, "Is that all? He has not done or said anything interesting? Having good hygiene does not make someone unnatural." Her conversation was cut short when Lady Margaret looked up and said, "Hello, Joseph, do you have my parcel?" "Yes, Lady Margaret," I said, handing it to her. Before opening it, Lady Margaret commented, "You would do well to curb your little spying habits, Joseph. It is unbecoming of a little gentleman." Bowing, I said, "Forgive me, Lady Margaret, it was not my intention to eavesdrop." "You are dismissed. Return to your studies, little boy," said Lady Margaret. During this chastisement, my mother said nothing. As per instructions, I returned to my room to continue my study. Mother had a vague hope of seeing me become a scribe, a tax collector, or even a banker. In order to make her dreams come true, I spent all my time practicing my penmanship, studying English, administration, arithmetic, painting, and poetry. Time?
10 minutes.
During the summertime, I was allowed to practice hunting and sword fighting with the children of the manor. It was more of a gag, since my instructor never took my fighting skills seriously. At other times, I would attend the grammar school to learn history, law, and science. Once a week, I would receive lessons from a privately hired tutor who would teach me botany and astronomy. As was the habit of the day, my lessons would last from sunrise to sunset. It was rare to see any children outside doing something that remotely resembled play. For this reason, my dozen eyes fell on an interesting sight that painted itself beneath my window. Outside was Chicot, the strange urchin clad in white robes. He was tossing a red ball against the wall of Alvis's smithy. His smithy was visible from my third-floor window study room. It was one of the oldest buildings in the city. Its sides were made of solid red brick with no windows. The roof was made of a slate of metals, and it had a looming 5-story high chimney. There were numerous tiny windows across and in front of the smithy. Its massive size allowed for more than 40 people to operate it from within. Alvis had his entire smithy all for himself. It was a wonder how he managed to scrape enough to pay the property taxes for that place alone. There was rumors that at the time which claimed that Alvis had hidden dwarven gold. Every month or so there was someone who was stupid enough to break into Alvis's smithy. All the thieves were taken by the undertaker come morning. So like everyone who tried to rob and got Because of this and his general dislike for humans, Alvis lived completely alone. He was often described as a bitter old dwarf that not even his kind liked spending time with. When he was not in his smithy, he spent his time at the bar accosting the maids. He had never taken on an apprentice before. The news that he had taken in the strange child clad in white caused quite a commotion among the Blacksmith cast. For the next couple of days, I noticed Chicot playing outside from time to time. Chicot would sometimes play with the pretty young girls running errands. They found the tiny little dwarven child adorable. While running on another errand, I finally saw Chicot from up close, without his hood. Chicot had dwarven proportions, and based on his size, he was probably 6 years old. He had short brown curly hair, large expressive black eyes. Something about his long aquiline nose and broken chin and thick lips reminded me a bit of Alvis. If it weren't for his delicate build, he could have easily passed for his son. Chicot smiled when he saw me. He kicked his red ball in my direction. The ball slowly made its way towards my feet. I picked it up and I studied it carefully. Smiling, Chicot asked, "Wanna play?" "I can't. I'm running an errand," I said looking back towards the street. I'm supposed to be working too, but here I am. "So, wanna play?" he repeated. "I can't," I said, walking away. On my way towards the market, I heard a strange sound following me about. Turning around, I noticed Chicot bouncing the ball against the ground. He was apparently following me around. I shortened my pace to stare at Chicot playing with his toy. While walking, I exclaimed, "I cannot believe Alvis lets you sloth around all day." "I don't sloth around all day. It just seems like it since I only work when I feel like it. Besides, it does not matter how I use my time, if by the end of the day I complete my work," said Chicot proudly. At the time, I did not realize that Chicot was far too articulate for a child of 6 years of age. I took for granted that he could speak with me on the same terms. Then again, I had never had a prolonged conversation with someone close to my age. "My name is Chicot, by the way, not that you're bothering to ask. And you are Joseph, the only son of Miss Caroline Rossi," said Chicot. "How do you know my name?" I inquired. "It is called listening. You should try it sometime. I got to know everyone while begging on the street. People tend to have loose lips when they pretend you don't exist," explained Chicot. "Oh," I said, not knowing how to respond to such frankness. An hour's silence soon followed. I arrived at the tanner's shop, and I picked out the new silks for Lady Margaret. One of the servants started whispering the moment they saw me entering the shop with Chicot. It also did not help that Chicot almost broke an expensive vase while playing around with his red ball indoors. The shopkeeper pulled him by the shoulder and threw him out into the street. Chicot dusted himself off and went back into the shop to retrieve his toy. Again he was thrown out, but this time he had reclaimed his prize. While walking back, Chicot said, "Thanks for backing me up. I could not have done it without your help." "What are you talking about? I did nothing of the sort," I said, taken aback. "Time?"
5 minutes.
"You did more than you bargained for, my friend," said Chicot, smiling. Alarm, I checked all of my pockets to make certain that Chicot had not placed stolen goods in my person. While I did this, Chicot studying me coolly. Nodding, Chicot said, just as I thought. What? I asked again. Why don't you use your fancy education and figure out what you did wrong? Asked Chicot sarcastically. Angrily, I yelled, shut up, you tramp. Taste one to no one, retorted Chicot, running away before I had a chance to respond. He seemed to stay with me for the rest of the day. Even Lady Margaret noticed that I was red with fury. She did not inquire about my rage, since she probably felt it was not her place to care. I felt vindicated when I saw Alvis approaching Chicot with a birch branch. When I felt I had gotten over my anger, Chicot was after all younger than me. It was foolish of me to take anything he said seriously. Close to midnight, I was awakened by a strange sound. Lighting a candle, I noticed by the clear moonlight Chicot playing outside. Against my better judgment, I tiptoed out of the house only in my pajama and some shoes to find out why Chicot was out so late that night. I whispered to Chicot, it's late, shouldn't you be inside sleeping? My dad is drunk right now, and I'm waiting for him to pass out before going to sleep, explained Chicot. So Alvis really is your father, I said, surprised. Not really, said Chicot. Why do you call him Dad, I insisted. For the same reason you call Lady Margaret a lady, Chicot answered. You are not making any sense, I said. Was I supposed to? Go back inside before something happens, I ordered. What part of Dad is drunk, don't you understand, added Chicot. You should go away before something bad happens to you. I can take care of myself just fine, unlike you. Time?
3 minutes.
Fine, be that way. I don't care, I said, running to my home. For the rest of the night, I stayed awake to make certain nothing bad happened to Chicot. A month passed, and Chicot's situation showed no signs of improving. From time to time, he would get a vicious beating from Alvis. One day, it got so bad that the guards came to take Alvis away. The only reason he was not taken to prison was because Chicot gave them a bribe. To me, his actions made no sense. No one in his right mind would put up with such abuse. One day, while doing my lessons, Lady Margaret interrupted my tutor. She made a sign to me to come speak with her alone. She said, I have a delicate matter I wish to discuss with you. It would be best if this stays between you and me. Yes, Lady Margaret, I said, bowing. This boy, Alvis's new apprentice. What do you know of him? She inquired. I only know as the rest. He calls Alvis Dad sometimes, and he used to be a beggar not so long ago, I answered. Is that all? He has not done or said anything strange, asked Lady Margaret. Time?
2 minutes.
I do see him sometimes playing with a red ball, and he only does this whenever Alvis is drunk and he wants to stay out of his way till he sobers up. For this reason, he is sometimes seen playing alone very late at night, I explained. Said Lady Margaret thoughtful. After being silent for a moment, she handed me a letter and then she said, This is a letter for Alvis from my sister Lady Ida. Please deliver it to him when you get a chance. After Lady Margaret left, I stared at the sealed envelope for quite some time. The crest of the letter was fresh. When no one was looking, I opened the letter. I knew where my mother hid the house crest, and after applying some wax, I could easily seal the letter again, and no one would be none the wiser. Time?
1 minute.
The letter was about Chicot. Raising an eyebrow, I closed the letter and then set about finding Alvis. I pondered on much whether I should just pass the letter under the door or give it to him in person. In the end, I resolved to get this task out of the way as soon as possible. Alright, so we'll continue with this later. Bye bye and God bless.